Hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm making sure I've got it all set up here. It's very weird posting in like 2 different places. Okay, I'm going to actually leave this open. I'm gonna leave my Facebook group open because it's posted in 2 different places and I wanna make sure everybody gets the comments answered if they have comments. So, perfect. Okay, hi. I have to show you guys this necklace that I got. So I've had this for a while, but I got it, it was broken, so I haven't been able to wear it for a while. And I just got it fixed, and look at it. It's so cute. It's a little octopus. I've never been a big fan of jewelry, but I like this guy because he's very fucking weird, and I am very fucking weird, so we make a good team. Okay. Oh, God. How are you, everybody? Let me know who's here. Comment and say hi. Comment and say hi. Tell me who's here, where you're from. I am going to jump right in and talk about getting over the overwhelm, or how to beat overwhelm, and how to make money now. Because when you're in overwhelm, it is very difficult for you to do anything, let alone make any money. So we're talking about making money, yes, and making money very quickly, but we're also talking about getting out of overwhelm, right? So first, these are the 3 most important things that you need to do. You need to ditch these 3 things, okay? So first of all, you need to ditch the excuses. So ditch any excuse that is stopping you from doing what you need to do. Whatever is holding you back, whether that's lack of money, whether that's lack of know-how, whether that's feeling insecure, whether that's feeling like a fraud, whatever, right? Just ditch the excuses. When there's things that you need to take action on, such as making money in your business, you need to ditch all of the excuses that are going to stop you from actually achieving what you want to achieve, right? And hitting the goals that you want to hit. So you need to ditch the excuses. You need to let those go. And remember too that there's probably going to be times, I mean, I know for me it happens on an almost daily basis, where excuses are going to come up and you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait to do this, or I'm going to hold on for a little bit, or I'm going to check this first before I do this. And it's just an excuse. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're making these excuses, but we are. And those excuses are what's going to hold you back from making money in your business and from, you know, getting whatever it is that you want out of life in general, whether that's business or otherwise. Right? So ditch the excuses, number 1. The other thing is ditch the complaining. So you're going to ditch the excuses, you're going to ditch the complaining, and by complaining, I mean anything you're complaining about, like, oh my God, it's cold in here. Oh, this weather is shitty today. Oh, I can't find clients, or this person is asking for a refund, or, you know, I can't hit my money goals. Whatever it may be, you need to stop. Just stop complaining. Stop making excuses. Stop complaining. And remember, when you're complaining too, what you're actually doing is sending a message out into the universe saying, give me more of that, because you're giving attention to it. So if you're saying, oh, I can't make money, or oh, I'm never able to hit my money goals, or oh, I can't seem to attract paying clients, that's exactly what you're going to keep doing. You're going to keep attracting shitty clients. You're going to not attract clients, or you're going to never hit your money goals, right? Whatever it is that you're complaining about, you're going to get more of that. This has been said a million times, but a lot of you aren't listening. A lot of you aren't believing it. Ditch the excuses, ditch the complaining. Amen. Right? So those two. The other thing is to ditch the fears. So I know that there's probably fears that you have around money. We all do. I'm afraid that I'll never make enough. I'm afraid that I'll make too much. I'm afraid that when I'm making more money, I have more responsibility. When I'm making more money, more people are gonna ask to borrow money from me, right? Like these could be excuses, fears that are coming up for you. And so what that does when you have those fears is it prevents you, or it blocks you from actually receiving money. It stops you from receiving money because you're scared of it, and you're telling the universe, I'm scared of it. Oh my God, please don't give it to me. I'm scared. And so it's mixed signals, right? So you need to ditch the fears around money, especially the fears that are related to making more money and bringing more money into your business and into your life. And just remembering that the more afraid you are of something, the more you should do it. The more you're feeling resistant to do something, the more you should do it. Because those fears are always gonna come up, especially as you continue to up level in your business and you continue to set bigger and bigger goals for yourself. Fears are going to come up. And it's not that you should never have fears, it's that when those fears come up, you need to just jump anyway. You need to take action anyway. You need to face your fears and do what's necessary anyway. Okay, so that's what I mean by ditch your fears. All right. Smash fear in the motherfucking face. I covered this in my new workshop yesterday. Yay! Yeah, that's exactly it. You need to just tell fear to fuck off. This would be a shirt. Tell fear to fuck off. Or fuck off fear. Something like that. So ditch the excuses, ditch the complaining, and ditch the fears, okay? These are 3 things that you need to let go of right now if you want to make more money, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to get strategic around how you're actually showing up every day. And right now you may not even realize that you're showing up in a way that's sabotaging your success, financial and otherwise. Right? So pay attention, number 1, to how you're showing up. You can even ask people in your community, like, how do you think I show up online? Do you think I show up as a powerful leader, as somebody that you should listen to, or do you think I show up as the opposite, right? So get strategic with how you're showing up, how you're creating value, how you're selling as well to your community. Get strategic. And there's a lot of things you can do around, showing up, giving that value, creating your content, selling, right? Like there's so many things that you can do here that will position you as that leader, that will show your audience that, hey, I know what I'm talking about and you should probably listen to me and invest in my program or invest in working with me in some way without actually having to say that, right? Like you'll just be able to prove that with your actions and the things that you do. And we cover this in depth in my new workshop, the 24-hour launch, which we'll talk about later. And I have a special bonus for the for 5 people that sign up. I think it's 5, I limited to 5 women that sign up for the 24-hour launch on this live stream. Okay, so stick around. If you have to leave, send me a private message and I'll send you all the details on that after the live stream. Okay, so this is what you want to do. Okay, I'll explain kind of how I show up in a strategic way, and hopefully that will give you some clarity around how to do that yourself. I mean, you obviously don't have to do it exactly the way that I do it, but I do recommend finding a way that works for you and then sticking with it and evaluating it as well as you're going through it to see if it actually is working and you're getting the results from it. All right. So what I do in terms of showing up is You know, the first thing that I do every single morning, and I've talked about this a bunch, is I do my journaling. So every single morning, without fail, I pull out the journal and I just start writing. A lot of times I'll ask myself a question. I'll say something like, what should I share today? What does my audience really need to hear today? What do I need to release today? I've even done it to create offers and things like that as well. Things that I'll ask myself to create an offer that will be something that my audience wants. Also how I can sell my offers as well. That stuff comes up in my journaling. But a lot of it is, to be honest with you, just kind of brain dump, I guess. A lot of times I'll just wake up, I'll open my journal and I'll put the pen to paper and I just wait for a second. I just sit there and I wait. And then usually something will come out, even if it's something like, what are you waiting for? Start writing. Why is this taking so long? Why is nothing coming to me? Why is it so hard? Right? Like sometimes that'll come out as well. But most of the time, thankfully, I am getting actual words out of my head and onto paper. And so really what I'm doing is I'm just releasing everything that's in my head and getting it out onto paper. Because if you're holding on to those thoughts that are in your head, and sometimes you don't even realize that you have lots of shit going on in there, if you hold on to that and you don't release it in some way, whether that's by writing or speaking or whatever, it's going to hold you back. It's going to prevent you from actually going out there and taking action or taking the required action that you need to take in order to hit your money goals and be successful and have whatever it is that you want, right? So you have to be able to release it. You have to get it out. And so that's why that's the very first thing that I do every morning is I let it all out. And sometimes I'm a bit more strategic with my journaling, like I said, where I'm asking questions and things like that and I'm brainstorming. But most of the time it is just letting it all out. So I highly recommend doing that if you're not doing that already. All right, so after I've done my journaling, then I just share what came up for me. I share what's on my mind if something is sticking with me from that journaling session, and I'll just speak about that. So that's usually where my content comes from first thing in the morning. So it'll come from my journaling. So I will either write word for word what was in my journal, and that will be my content for the morning. Or sometimes I will just pick something out of the journal, something that triggered me, something that I want to continue the conversation on, and that will become my content for the morning. And sometimes I'll spread it throughout the day as well, where I'll talk about the same thing later in the day also. But I just, talk about what's on my mind or what came up for me. And the reason that this is so powerful is because your audience wants to know who you are, because like I've said a million times, that's who they're buying is you. They're not buying your stuff, they're buying you. And so they want to know, well, how does this person think? And what are they always doing in the morning? And what are they always asking themselves? And what's coming up for them? And what are their beliefs? And all of this stuff, right? So they want to know who you are at a deeper level. And that always comes out through journaling. So that's always what I do, is I share that. And then I tie in, some type of storytelling as well. So I'll share, like let's say I'm talking about selling, for example, right? Selling is on my brain all the time. So I'm sure at some point I'll do a post all about selling. And so maybe that comes up where I'm talking about selling. And then I tie in some storytelling with that. Right, so I'll share my experience with selling. I'll share, a recent event that happened around selling. I will share something that, happened with a client that was working with me or somebody in one of my programs, something like that. So I'm tying in story to my content, my messaging, my showing up, right? So I'm doing that every single day in some way. Sometimes it's in my main post of the day. Sometimes it's later on throughout the day in like small little posts. Sometimes it's in a video or a live stream like this. It's different, but every day I'm doing some type of storytelling. And the reason that this works so well is, again, people get to know you better, but also they relate to you better as well. I just posted about storytelling this morning. See, so you understand. You get where I'm going with that, right? So then the other thing I do when I'm showing up as well is I give those action tasks to my community. So that could be within my content, that could be a separate thing that I do, but basically I'm telling them what to do. I'm saying, you know, this is what you need to do if you want to achieve X. This is what you should do today to express gratitude. This is what you need to do today to grow your following. This is what you need to do today to make more sales, right? Like this live stream is about. So I'm always basically telling them what to do. I'm being the teacher, I'm being the leader. I am showing you, telling you what you need to do to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, right? So I'm giving them some type of action. And then finally, I'm selling, right? And sometimes that is the action, is to buy now or whatever. But the selling part is the important part. Not that the content and all that stuff isn't important, but if you're not actively selling, you're not actively making money. And if you're watching this live stream, I know you want to make more money, so you need to sell more. It's as simple as that, right? You need to go out there and sell more often. Yes, there's strategies around that. You have to sell the right thing. You have to know how to launch the right thing. You have to know who to present it in front of. You have to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. But you just need to sell more is the main point, right? Like that's what I want you to realize, is you need to sell more. And I think that's why I do, other than the fact that my brain never shuts off, and I'm, you know, a super creative person and I'm always creating things in my head and on paper. That's why I launch all the time. That's why I'm constantly offering new things, is because A, I just like to create all the time. I'm always creating things. And B, it's just an excuse to sell more, because a lot of times what I found in my own experience was when I was selling the same thing over and over and over again, right? I knew I had to sell all the time, so I was, but I was selling the same thing all the time. And I got bored, my community got bored, everybody was bored, and it just wasn't fun anymore, and it wasn't converting. I wasn't making any sales. I wasn't making any money from it because everybody was so bored. And so that's exactly why I launch all the time now, is because I can put that creative energy out there. I can create whatever I want to create whenever I want to create it, and I can launch it super fast. And that's kind of been how I've done things in my business for a while now. And the number one reason I make as much money as I make is because I'm constantly selling, and I'm constantly launching, and I'm constantly creating, not in that necessarily in that order. Right? So if you right now are feeling bored, number one, with an offer, or you're feeling like you're not making the money that you want to be making, or you're feeling overwhelmed, then what you need to do is simply sell more, create more, offer more, give more, be present more, right? And launch more. And launch more, right? So I want to tell you about the 24-hour launch, because this is how you can launch more often in your business, make more money, release what you need to release, be creative. And if you're in this community, I know you're a super creative person and you love to create new content all the time, even though it may be challenging from time to time, putting all that out there. So with the 24-hour launch, basically what it is I'm going to show you how to create an offer, launch the offer, and then sell the offer. So create, launch, and sell, and do that in 24 hours. This is not something where you need to do like a month of pre-planning, where you need to like tease people for a week about it, where you need to, do so much preparation before you can actually sell something. It's simply about create it, launch it, sell it, money in the bank, right? Fast. That's how I work. I love to make shit happen very quickly. I don't want to wait. I don't feel like I need to wait. And that's what I teach my clients as well, is that you can have anything you want, do anything you want, be anyone you want, and you can have it now. You don't have to wait. Okay, this light is driving me crazy. I gotta close the curtains. Okay. That's driving me insane. Face is like glowing. Okay. Hi, Anita. Welcome. How's it going? All right. So as I was saying, this is, launching all the time. At first felt overwhelming. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this all the time? And also because you hear so many people say, don't sell all the time. You have to give. Then you sell, like this little tiny thing. Or don't offer too much. You're going to confuse your audience, so then they end up buying nothing, right? Like, I used to believe all that stuff, and I followed those rules, and I played by those rules, and I did what I was told to do. And not only was that not fun for me as an entrepreneur, I don't want somebody to tell me what to do, but also I never really made the money I wanted. I made okay money, but it was nowhere near what I knew I could make and what I really wanted to make, right? So I just kind of said, fuck it. And I was like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And that means I'm going to sell all the time. I'm going to create new stuff and launch new stuff all the time. And I'm going to feel good about it. So I made that decision, and then I just did it. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's worked very well for me. And so I went from, by doing those really big drawn out launches, I was bored. It wasn't fun for me. I wasn't getting the results I wanted because my community was also bored. And so I started doing those really quick launches where I would honestly come up with an idea, put it out there immediately. I took action immediately when it popped into my head, and then had sales coming in a couple hours later and no more than like 24 hours later. I do a lot of those 24-hour launches where it's like idea, launch, sell, money right away. So that's pretty much, I can't get comfortable. That's pretty much what this workshop is about. It's a 3-hour workshop. We're doing it on December 8th from 12 to 3 Eastern. And yes, it will be recorded if you can't be there live. And it's, a really intensive 3 hours together where I am going to basically walk you through everything you need to know to A, create an offer, B, launch your offer, and C, sell your offer. So, if you don't make money doing this workshop, I will be flabbergasted. I will be shocked, because this is the stuff I teach my private clients. This is the stuff I've been doing myself now and bringing in upwards of like $75,000 a month doing launches like this, quick launches. I think I've already launched like 3 things this month alone, not including the 24-hour, actually no, including the 24-hour launch. So 3 things this month, which is actually slow for me. But I also had the Black Friday sale, so technically I was doing like 4 or 5 things at once, or not at once, through the month. So I'm always putting this stuff out there, and the reason I'm doing that is because I know it works, because I know that doing these quick launches, these launches that happen often, it works in terms of reaching more people, getting your message out there in front of more people, and making more money, right? So that's why I put this together. So if you are interested in this, I highly recommend you send me a message right away, because the first 15 women that sign up will get 100% cashback credit. So what that means is once you sign up for the workshop, you're gonna have the cost of the workshop, what you paid for the workshop, you're gonna have that as credit, and you can use that credit on any of my future offerings, including one-on-one coaching. I wasn't gonna include that, but I was like, fuck it, whatever. I threw it in, right? So you're gonna have that credit that you can use anytime on any of my future offers that come out, or one-on-one coaching, whatever you desire most. So this is only for the first 15 women, and at least half of the spots are gone by now. When I promoted this yesterday, I had a bunch of people scoop it up. So if you are interested, please message me straight away so I can make sure that you get access to this 100% cashback. Okay, and I'll give you all the details in terms of investment and when we start and the logistics of everything, right? So the other thing I wanted to mention, and this is, super exclusive, only for 5 women that sign up through this live stream. So you have to mention this live stream to me when you message me. But what I'm doing for 5 women is I'm giving you unlimited access to me in terms of coaching for the remainder of 2016. So you can work with me starting today Okay, you don't even have to wait till we do the workshop, which is on the 8th of December. We can start today. I can hop on the phone with you whenever you need me. We can work out some times there. You can message me anytime you need me through email or through Facebook or whatever, and I will basically coach you one-on-one for the remainder of this year. Okay, so I'm giving that to 5 women only that sign up through this live stream. So please make sure you mention the live stream so that you get access to that unlimited mentorship. And remember that we start on the 8th. However, if you want to get the 100% cash back, you need to sign up straight away because those 15 spots are flying off the digital shelves. They are going very quickly. So please message me straight away if you want the information on how that works and to grab your place there. Okay, so now what I want you to do is comment on this post. Let me know what you are going to do to show up better for your community. Okay, tell me how you're going to show up in a way that, you know, positions you as the authority, positions you as the leader, as the expert, and what's going to make you more money, right? So how are you going to show up so that you're the leader, you're the expert, you're the people they're looking up to, and it's also a way that's going to make you more money. So comment and let me know. Feel free to answer one or both of those questions. And then also please feel free to share what you do in there. And you know, if anybody sees this post and sees the comments, which a lot of them will, I'm sure, they can go check you out if they're interested in your services. So feel free to do that as well. But if you're going to do that, you have to let us know what you're going to do to show up differently for yourself and for your community. And remember, you can be, do, and have anything you want in life. You just need to take action now. All right, send me the message if you want to get one of the first 15 places for the 24-hour launch, and I will chat with you later. Bye.